Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Alejandrina Lian Hernandez, and I'm going to share my mixed methods research study proposal entitled You Belong Here, First Generation Latina College Students and TRIO Student Support Services Program. The following areas will be covered in this proposal: introduction, literature review, framework, purpose of study, research questions, mixed methods research design, data collection plan, data analysis plan, assumptions, limitations, and delimitations, conclusion, references. First of all, the introduction. Latina first generation college students, or FGCS, face unique and multifaceted challenges in higher education. As the first in their families to attend college, these students often lack the familial guidance and support systems. Latina first generation college students must navigate not only the complexities of academic life, but also the expectations of their cultural values. Federally funded programs such as TRIO Student Support Services, or SSS, have emerged as critical support systems. These programs provide Latina first-generation college students with academic, emotional, and financial resources that bridge the gap between aspiration and achievement. This study will explore the lived experiences of Latina first-generation college students who participated in TRIO SSS programs, examining how these interventions influence their academic success, self-efficacy, and ability to navigate higher education. Here's the literature review, broken up into 3 categories. First, the challenges faced by Latino first-generation college students. The first-generation college students need help navigating the college environment because neither of their parents have completed a college degree, so they don't have that experience to share with them. Furthermore, Latinas must challenge the cultural norms that they are raised to believe as they venture on their own. So the literature in that category was talking about the struggles with first-generation college students, but then also the struggles with Latinas. The positive impact of TRIO Student Support Services, it does talk about resources, include priority registration, counseling, tutoring, job shadowing, career exploration, academic advising, and mentoring. The impact of TRIO SSS goes beyond these services. It provides a support system, building relationships, a sense of belonging, and friendship and mentorship. So there it talks about just a TRIO program itself. Then factors influence baccalaureate attainment. So students gain confidence from understanding how to navigate the college environment through the language. An example is understanding the purpose of a syllabus. So first generation college students have to learn that. Lastly, family is important for Latino students, and the TRIO SSS program is an extension of their family, which helps the students stay motivated. There was a gap in the literature. The literature provides a generalization of first generation college students of both genders, all ethnicities, and regions. However, this study targets a specific population, first generation Latina students who graduated from a TRIO program in Texas. The conceptual framework that will guide the mixed method study is a psychosocial cultural framework for Latinos in higher education, developed by Janet Castellanos and Alberta M. Gloria. Here you see that there are 3 components for the Latino in higher education. First, the psychological component covers self-efficacy, self-esteem. The second component covers the social component, covers family and mentors. The third component is cultural, which covers congruity and ethnic identity. The framework serves as a guide for the institutions to identify these areas in their Latino population and their persistence from one semester to the other. The purpose of this study is twofold. First, to understand the cultural norms of first-generation college students who identify as Latina. The first-generation college norms first are students mostly have lack of support, low self-esteem, and low confidence. The Latina norms in this example is familioso, which is strong family values, relaxidad, religious traditions, and merimoso, which is subservient and attentive to family. Second, to determine whether the TRIO SSS program influenced their persistence and degree completion. These are the transactional resources, which are academic, advising, financial literacy, and tutoring, to name a few. Also, personal services, which include mentorship, counseling, and relationships. Again, the focus is on this specific population and a generalized program to determine if these services make an impact on degree completion. So the research questions are, number one, how do Latina college students participating in TRIO programs perceive the cultural values and family expectations that influence their academic success? And that is a qualitative. Research question 2, what challenges do Latina college students in TRIO programs perceive that affect their persistence towards their degree? And how do these challenges correlate with the retention rates and academic performance? That is a qualitative and quantitative. Last, what do Latina college students describe as supports provided by the TRIO programs that have affected their academic success and correlate with higher levels of self-reported academic self-efficacy? And that is qualitative and quantitative. The mixed methods research design used is the exploratory sequential design in 3 phases. First, the qualitative data collection and data analysis. Second, the quantitative data collection and data analysis. And then the third, the integration of both methods. The data collection plan for the mixed method study is shown here. First, the qualitative data collection plan will consist of semi-structured interviews. This is purposeful sampling because we are targeting a specific population. Also, an email will be sent to the director of a TRIO program. They will serve as a liaison because this population of students are no longer current students, they are graduates. The sample size will be 10 Latina first generation college students who are TRIO graduates. And it is 10 because we're taking the time to listen to their stories, their lived experiences, and that takes time. So the second is a quantitative data collection plan. Will consist of a Likert scale survey with purposeful sampling, again, because we are targeting a specific population. And we are, again, using an email to the TRIO director to serve as a liaison because these students are graduated. This time, the sample size will be over 100 Latina first generation college students, so we can get more data to serve on this quantitative side. The data analysis plan for mixed method study is shown here. First, a qualitative data collection plan will consist of reviewing those interview transcripts, developing a code book, and identifying common themes. On the quantitative side, we will consist of descriptive statistics. We will score the survey results and identify the mean, percentage, and standard deviation of those results. The integration will determine how the qualitative explains the quantitative. We will identify alignment with those resources, and since that we will see if our study actually answered those research questions. We will identify alignment with the framework. As I said, the framework is guiding this study. And also at the end, we hope to see if TRIO SSS program graduates, if it had any effect on their graduation, but also their persistence. Assumptions, limitations, and delimitations. Assumptions. So participants will be honest. All TRIO graduates will want to participate. The participants will respond promptly. Limitations. Findings cannot be generalized to all TRIO programs, all students in TRIO programs. The time that has passed since the participant's graduation may vary. So we may have a student who graduated recently, 2 months ago or 5 years ago. Their story, their recollection, their memory may vary. A potential research bias: who meets the same inclusion criteria as the participants. As I mentioned before in class, I am a TRIO graduate, I am a first generation college student, and I'm also a Latina. Delimitation: other TRIO SSS requirements such as low income and disabilities are excluded. Men are excluded from this study. Other ethnic groups are excluded. No institution type is specified. An example, community college or four-year, and this is because there are multiple TRIO programs at both community and four-year. However, institutions in this study are in Texas, so we are excluding other states. In conclusion, just to wrap everything up, again, we are using an exploratory sequential mixed method study. The study will explore the experiences of first-generation Latina college students who participated in a TRIO SSS program and graduated with a bachelor's degree. Qualitative interviews will identify common themes as TRIO SSS graduates recall their experiences with resources, staff, and other participants. Quantitative survey data will inform, confirm, or contrast the TRIO SSS graduates' cultural background, college experience, and overall satisfaction with the program resources and staff. The psychosocial cultural framework for Latinas, Latinos in higher education, developed by Jeanette Castellanos and Alberta Gloria 2007, will serve as a guide in the research. The findings will provide a better insight into first-generation Latina college students and help determine how to better serve this population through the continuing services provided by the TRIO program. Here are the references that were used in the mixed methods research proposal. Thank you for your time and attention. I look forward to any feedback that you may have.